Hello guys and welcome back to our channel Barca Admirers for your daily dosage of all the latest news updates and transfers roundup regarding FC Barcelona. In this episode, we have some real bad news regarding the health condition of one of our players, and it seems to be the end of the road for him. On the other hand, a player who was discarded till now has been reportedly surprising the coaching staff with his performances, while Dani Olmo to Barca has lined up as a real possibility along with many more such updates. So make sure to watch this video till the very end without skipping over any part. Now before we get started, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share it with your Blaugrana friends and click on the bell icon and press all to turn on all the notifications. We start off today's episode with some great news and an official statement issued by the club that states that Barcelona and Dani Alves have reached an agreement in principle for the player to join the first team for the remainder of the current season. Now we have discussed it in detail in another video, so go ahead and check it out. An interesting statistic about the transfer of Dani Alves is that in the last 5 years, Barcelona have spent 93.7 million euros looking for his replacement. They brought in Aleix Vidal for 17 million euros, Nelson Semedo for 35 million euros, Moussa Wagué for 5 million euros, Serginho Dest for 21 million euros, and Emerson Royal for 15 million euros. Since we are talking about the return of legends back to the club, former Barca player Andres Iniesta said in his most recent interview to Sport that he does not know what will happen in the future, but he would definitely love to return to Barca someday. The legendary midfielder said that to return to Barca, to his home, and to be able to continue helping in one way or another would be great, but nobody knows the future. He also said that he feels bad to see Barca like this from a distance. If things are not going well, it's not nice because then he sees his teammates suffer. He sees new people that cannot find the results and the fans that are hurting. When something you love suffers, it definitely hurts. Commenting on Messi, Andres said that it's rare to see Messi in another shirt. He would have liked him to have continued. After so many years, wearing another shirt for Messi definitely hurts, but it can happen as it has happened. Each one takes his own way. Moving on to the next news update, we have some real bad news as top-tier journalist Marta Carreras reports that the heart exams conducted on Sergio Aguero have revealed that his pathology is more serious than what was assumed, and pessimism grows. Depending on the situation, Aguero may be forced to retire from professional football due to his condition known as a heart arrhythmia. Now to be very honest with you guys, I don't expect much of a comeback from him at this age. Besides, it's not a simple injury, rather a very serious health condition. Aguero's well-being matters more than anything. However, ESPN reports that Aguero is not thinking of retirement right now because it's too early to draw conclusions. According to the report of journalist Yelena Condes, he is taking it slow and will decide on whether to continue playing professional football in February. Next up ahead, we have some more bad news for you guys, as journalist Yelena Condes once again reports that Xavi trusts Sergi Roberto. Next week, a meeting will be held to discuss about his contract renewal and the talks will start from scratch. Right now, there is no reason for us not to trust Xavi. He has not even had a single game in charge yet, but if this decision to bet on Sergi Roberto backfires, which we all have good reason to believe it will, there can remain only one conclusion. The Catalan bias inside the club is 100% real and the actual cause of Barca's downfall. Now I have got absolutely no idea how exactly did Xavi get misguided into trusting this absolute deadwood of a player, or how he might transform Roberto back into a world-class one. After all, it's never an easy task to drive away all those years of accumulated laziness in a few weeks by implementing some strict rules. But it's a new manager, let's just see for a while. Going to the next one, we have official confirmation that Barca B player Ilyasha Komash has suffered a sprained right ankle and therefore will not be included in the first team squad in their game against Espanyol. Next up, journalist Javi Miguel reports that although the German national team downplayed ter Stegen's absence against Liechtenstein, assuring that it was a technical decision, at Barcelona it's suspected that there may be a problem with his right knee. However, later on, yet another top-tier journalist Samuel Marsden reported that ter Stegen is fine and he does not suffer from any knee problems. Speaking about injuries, Spanish news publication Mundo Deportivo reports that Pedri and Sergi Roberto are working hard to be fit for the game against Espanyol. On the other hand, yet another Spanish news outlet Diario AS reports that Samuel Umtiti has pleasantly surprised the current coaching staff, so much so that it's not ruled out that he may have his first minutes after the international break. Reporting further on this issue, top-tier journalist Javi Miguel reports that Samuel Umtiti has surprised Xavi Hernandez quite a lot, so much so that the new manager has personally congratulated him and he was even applauded by the whole squad. Umtiti can have his first minutes this season after the internationals. On the other hand, in a hilarious piece of news, it was reported by journalist Elwood White that Ousmane Dembele will pay the first fine for being late to arrive at training at the Ciutat Esportiva. He arrived 3 minutes too late. Contrary to Dembele, journalist Alex Pintaniel reports that Ansu Fati was the first player to arrive at the Ciutat Esportiva in this morning. Next up, we have the comments of Spanish national team manager Luis Enrique praising a very own youngster Xavi. He said that Xavi is a beast. He said he saw double after he got hit in the head, but he wanted to go on. His eye was swollen up a bit and he could not see well at all, but on the bench he was already fine. Reporting on his contract renewal issues, journalist Fabrizio Romano reports that Barcelona are prepared to enter in the final stages of Xavi's new contract negotiation. The long-term proposal, with the salary increasing from year to year, will be on the table soon, and Xavi himself wants to stay. For the next news update, we have a rather interesting piece of statistic that's compiled by Spanish news publication Sport. It states that Memphis Depay is responsible for 35% of Barcelona's shots in La Liga this season. He has produced 28 shots in 12 games. Having a look at the financial side of the club, Spanish news outlet Mundo Deportivo reports that Barca have received an offer from a Saudi Arabian company to be the main sponsor of the shirt of the first team. The offer does not guarantee consensus within the board of directors. Going to the next news update, Memphis Depay played 94 minutes and scored 2 goals in the Netherlands 2-2 draw against Montenegro in the World Cup qualifiers last night. Frankie de Jong played 78 minutes. Louis van Gaal later confirmed at the post-match press conference that de Jong was replaced due to ankle discomfort. Now that's all the news we could collect for you today in the news roundup. Moving on to the transfer section, first up today we have a report by ESPN journalist Moises Llorens and Samuel Marston, which states that Xavi Hernandez will have less than 10 million euros to spend on strengthening Barcelona squad in January after replacing Ronald Koeman as coach at the Camp Nou. Both Ansu Fati and Pedri have signed lucrative new contracts, which has eaten into how much Barcelona will be permitted to spend mid-season. However, the costs involving in firing Ronald Koeman and hiring Xavi will not have a major effect on spending moving forward, according to the sources with the knowledge of the situation. The existing financial restrictions will force Barca to look for low-cost options or loans, with the possibility of making the deal permanent in the future. Barca will also not be able to hand out big salaries, although they could make room on the wage bill by moving on players in January. Speaking about new signings, German publication Plättigol reports that Barcelona have joined the race after 19-year-old Karim Adeyemi, and there have already been talks with his agent who was in Barcelona a few weeks ago. Despite this, at the moment, it seems most likely that he will join Borussia Dortmund. Also reporting on this issue, journalist Gerard Romero states that there have been several meetings with the environment of Karim Adeyemi in the recent months, and the club has met with the player himself. He showed the club his desire to join. Moving on to the next transfer update, journalist Ferran Correas reports that Trincão's return in January is ruled out because the club will lose out financially on the agreed 6 million euros if the loan is terminated early. Ferran Correas further reports that Luuk de Jong is definitely not in Xavi's plans and the club will sell the Dutchman in the winter transfer market. Returning to Sevilla is an option as they look for a replacement for El Nassiri, who has been injured. For the next transfer update, we have a report by journalists Ferran Martinez and Gabriel Sanz. It states that RB Leipzig has agreed to sell Dani Olmo in January, but the deal is complicated as they ask for a mandatory purchase option in summer with a very high price. Nothing is ruled out yet. Moving on to the next transfer update, we have a report by top-tier journalists Fernando Polo and Sergi Roberto. It states that Barcelona are looking for reinforcements in January and players who participate little in their teams and can come in on loan. Liverpool are willing to let Thiago Alcantara leave, and he has always expressed his desire of returning to Barca. For the next transfer update, we have yet another report published by Mundo Deportivo. It states that Raheem Sterling is open for a loan deal to Barcelona in January if his status at Manchester City does not change, and he will still continue to be a bench player.
That's all the news we could collect for you today. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, select all, and enable all the YouTube app notifications. We have always been overly impressed by your response to our videos, so in this episode, we have decided to set a target of 550 likes. Please Qlers, help us reach our target on this episode as well. Now that's all we have for today's episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya.